Hello and good morning, everyone. So we've got another wild day ahead of us in this crazy world of trucking. So anyways, we're getting ready to head out. I don't have to be to the pickup till 1 p.m. today. It's 10:30 and 20 miles away. So I'll probably get there a little early, see if they'll load me, all that, and just kind of looking around. I was talking to a guy this morning that was out in Wyoming, I guess, and got shut down. So I was looking at running through like North Dakota, Montana, Idaho, stuff like that. It adds 100 miles, but it skips Wyoming. There was over the weekend some forecast showed some snow showers around Bozeman, which isn't too bad of an area really, especially if it's just snow showers. Who cares? No big deal. Cold, of course. It's gonna be cold no matter what I do on this load. What I was concerned with was somebody helped me with the name of this place. It's up in the Idaho Panhandle. I always called it like Coeur d'Alene or something like that. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But when I was a young buck out here, a young lad, one of my first over-the-road trips had me running across that mountain in a snowstorm, and I was completely oblivious to the fact that there were other states outside of Colorado that required you to carry chains. Guess what I did not have? Chains. Didn't have any. And I ended up stuck in the chain up area and couldn't get out. I went to bed, passed out in the sleeper, of course, where everyone goes to bed, of course, out here. And after a while, I'm back there sleeping, and I hear a knock on my door. It's a tow truck driver, and he's like, "What's going on? Where's your chains?" I said, "I don't have any." He said, "Okay, man, that there's a cop few trucks back, and he's running up every truck here that doesn't have chains, and he's giving you all tickets for not carrying chains." I'm like, good grief, I don't need this. I was new. I was very new to all this. I mean, common sense maybe, but I just didn't know. I had no idea, and I was just stuck in it at that point. So the cop eventually makes his way up there, and he asks for my license. "Why aren't you carrying chains?" And I explained, you know, I didn't realize that there were, I should have known, I mean, obviously, but I didn't realize that there were other states that required you to carry chains. It was just dumb rookie stuff, you know. You're starting out, you don't really know. I maybe should have known. I'm from Colorado. Maybe I should have known that snow exists, right? If you're like a driver from like Texas or something, that makes a little more sense that you would be confused about such a thing, right? Well, I should have known better. Anyways, I was fully cooperative with the cop. "Sorry, sir, I understand. This is my fault. Here's my ID. Whatever you need to do." And he went back to his car, did all his stuff he needed to do there, and he was super cool. He said, "Hey, you know, I have been screamed at by every trucker that didn't bring chains today, and they all got tickets. And you just made my day a little better. Just very easy to deal with. So don't worry about that ticket. You need to work with these tow truck drivers, though, to figure out how they're getting you out of this chain up area." So I was talking to them, and they're like, "Call your company. We need to get paid, all this stuff." Well, they noticed the little rider sticker on the truck I was driving at the time, because the company I drove for leased or rented their trucks through Ryder, however that works. And he goes, "Never mind, we got a contract with Ryder." He said, "We'll just bill them. We'll just bill them." So they drug me up the mountain with like chains or straps or something, while one tow truck operator drove the tow truck and the other one controlled my truck. I just was along for the ride in the passenger seat, and it was very nerve-wracking. I'm like, oh my god, this is fucking crazy. But they were experienced, and they drugged me up to the top of the mountain, and they unhooked me, and they said, "You'll be fine the rest of the way down. Find parking as soon as you can. Call it a night." And that was the end of my day. I got down there as soon as I could and got into parking, and was done, and learned a valuable lesson that day. So the point of that whole story was, that's the mountain I'm worried about if I'm going to go that route. I do have chains on here. Ask me how bad I want to put those chains on. Those days are hopefully behind me. So I think, though, I'm going to look at all the weather forecast, all the different scenarios, and I think this time of year, we're starting to get into the warmer time, but this time of year, if you can skip Wyoming, you should. And I'd rather run the extra 100 miles and be out across, you know, North Dakota, Montana, come in through Spokane and drop down that way. I'd rather do the extra 100 miles. Because you don't want to be shut down in Wyoming. You don't. And I don't know if that's going to be the case. But if the forecast for each way are comparable, then I'll just run up north and do the extra 100 miles. That's how I'm going to do it. Plus, there's so much more open road up north. Like I-80 is not bad, but you still have to go through wherever the Iowa 80 is. I forgot that little city there. Davenport, I think. I can't remember. You still got to go through Omaha. Every time I say Omaha, I think of Peyton Manning. I just want to shout it at you guys. Omaha! Omaha! I'm not very good at yelling, as you can see, but the people close to me in my life, when we discuss things and I say Omaha, I normally shout it at them because of Peyton. But got to go through there, and then Nebraska in general can get pretty busy. A lot of freight runs through there, so you'll be passing trucks all day or getting past, whichever you choose. And then you got to deal with Wyoming, so I think I'd just rather run it up north anyways, and that's what I'm gonna look at. But I'll wait till I get over to my shipper and get settled in and look at that. So that is sort of the plan for today. Other than that, I don't have much going on. Got the trailer all cleaned up, looking good, because this is a food grade load. And outside of that, nothing to worry about, I don't think. It's trucking, so there's always something to worry about, always something that can go wrong. But we got to get this done. This is such a big week. We've got to get it done. All right, guys, I'm gonna head over there and try to get this loaded and hit the road. See how much we can get done today before we got it shuttered down. We'll see. Oh boy, what could possibly go wrong here? I'm at the shipper about 2 hours, little under 2 hours early. I was like 3 hours early, but they wouldn't let me check in. They made me wait, and I'm still about 2 hours early. So really not a great system they have here. So they're assigning everybody 5 doors 9 through 14. The next one open, you take it, and you're behind trailer number whatever. So I am sitting behind the guy that I'm behind, right? But this guy, I think, is in front of all of us, which is cool. And then this guy here pulled up after me. I think he's behind me, but in the line, he's ahead of me. But we can't do a single file line because we'll block all the dock doors behind us. So they've left it up to us. Oh, what could go wrong? They've left it up to us to be polite to each other and take turns getting in the door that we need when it opens up. This will probably work out fine. It'll probably work out fine, but every once in a while you get the guy. Oh wait, I think we're getting the guy right now. Then who is this guy? See, it's already gone wrong. So if this dude is jumping out in front of everyone, but I'm behind him, I might have to, I don't know, communicate with the other driver and in this nice Kenworth to the left and see if he's ahead of me, because I don't want to cut him off. Could be that he's just parked here, I guess. I don't know. I just don't know. So I guess maybe I'm already confused about what the line is. I know for a fact I'm behind the guy right in front of me, because I was checking in after him, right after him, and they gave me his trailer number and said back in after he gets a door, the next door is yours. So that's kind of where we're at. But I'll talk to the guy in this Kenworth up here and see what's what after I pull up there. Make sure he's not waiting in line for a door. But not a great system when we have to pile the trucks in here in 2 lines, so we're not blocking other dock doors, and they tell us that we can just figure it out. I'm sure we'll be fine, but I could see potential for a problem here. So that's kind of an interesting way to handle these things, but whatever, it's fine. These two fellas over here, they're having a very in-depth conversation about who's next and all that, so we'll figure it out. But this other dude, I kind of got the impression when we were in there checking in that he didn't really care who else was first. He just cared when he was going. So he kind of had that attitude about him. But that's okay. We'll get through it. I'm 2 hours early. Might call it a day after this, depending how long it takes. Of course, that means I'm going to have to run pretty hard for the 7 a.m. delivery. I think I'm going to run north. So that'll be 2,000 miles by 7 a.m. Tuesday. That's a tough one. But the truck is doing something a little bit weird. I'm not very mechanically inclined, but maybe you guys can tell me what you think. By the time you see this video, I may have already ran it back by our shop to see what's going on. I'm going to see how it reacts when it's loaded, because it started doing it after I was empty yesterday. At highway speeds, when you let off the accelerator, it like makes a loud like air rushing noise through the front of the truck. It sounds like a gust of wind coming through the grill of the truck. Other than that, the truck's running fine. I mean, there's no like crazy change in RPMs when it does that. Nothing that out of the ordinary. It just makes that noise and a little bit of a shake when it does that. Now, I was trying to describe it to Google and see what Google came back with, and it had me on a, you guys remember the old forum, the Truckers Report, where people were talking about similar year Kenworths, and they were saying it was the cab leveling valve that would cause it to only at highway speeds. I'm confused by it too, but maybe there's something to it. I'm not sure. So this guy in the Kenworth is pulling up now. We'll just watch how this plays out, I guess. We'll see what he's doing. But we can be patient. It's no big deal. But, I mean, I'm not mechanically inclined, so that obviously sounds weird to me. But they were saying because of the angle of the cab, if it's not, like, set to the correct ride height, it will cause, like, your drivetrain to not be aligned. And to me, it sounds weird, but I'm not a mechanic. But a lot of people were in agreement with that statement. And I did notice my cab is sagging just a bit at the back, so I might just run it by the shop, see what they say. Last thing I want to do on my best week so far is have some sort of mechanical issue, so that's part of why we might be just stopped for the night, figuring out what's going on with that. We're not going to make fun of a guy backing, but he's way too far over there to make that. This is just for educational purposes. We're not laughing at the guy. We're not making fun of him. But if he swings that cab around, he's going to hit that staircase. He started from way over there on the right-hand side. He definitely would want to have started into this back way more over here to the left. It's hard to see around this K-dub in front of us, but he's getting it straightened out. He's getting her worked out. So, no big deal. No harm, no foul. Oh, nope, he's got to start over. It's not where I would have started the back from, is all I'm saying. I would have definitely been more over here to do that. But that's okay. That's okay. It's kind of a cluster in here, so we're all just kind of trying to work around everyone else and do our job. That's kind of just where we're at. That's kind of where we're at, but we'll watch him. We'll see how he does, what he does to correct it. I hope he. I can't really judge the distance very well from here. Now he's clear. Now he's clear. Had to zoom in. Got his wife hanging out the door to watch for him, but he's having a little bit of a hard time. But I'm sure he'll get it worked out. I'm sure he'll get it worked out. Anyways, what was I saying? That's why I might just call it a night, but it all depends on when I get loaded, what the shop sees, and if I'm going to be down for a few hours, then I might as well park it and just run hard. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, I'm seriously going to have to bang out like 600 miles each day, maybe a little less, and then get up early Tuesday, where I should only be a few hours out at that point. But the Montana route is looking the best so far. I would hate to get across Wyoming, because you can look at a Wyoming weather forecast and it will look just fine, but then Wyoming stuff happens and the whole state gets shut down. So I think I'd rather just run it up north, if I'm being completely honest. I think that's what I'll do. But it looks like he's got that figured out. The reason I'm still talking is just for my non-trucking buddies out here, or people looking to get into trucking, or people just new to it. This is kind of what stuff looks like sometimes. It can be a little bit chaotic, and just staying calm and communicating with other drivers and figuring out who's next and all that is the right way to do it. And sometimes communication isn't done verbally or even with body language. When this guy swung his cab out to the right, I knew that meant that he is supposed to be going next, or that's my understanding of it so far. So pay attention to what people are doing around you, and you'll be just fine. You'll be just fine out here. So anyways, that's enough of this, watching what's going on here. Once I get it loaded, I want to get it on the highway and see if it's a problem while it's still loaded. Because once you put a load on the trucks, then the airbags will make up for that weight and, you know, inflate more to get your ride height and everything correct with the weight of the load on you. So I want to see if that makes a difference. Got no problem putting it in our shop. I just need to be running by tomorrow morning at the latest for this to work out for me. I mean, if I have to be late to that appointment by a few hours because we were making sure the truck was good for the trip, then that's just the way she's gonna have to go. That's just the way it should go, because it's a very small receiver there in Pendleton, so the 7 a.m. appointment time may just be a suggestion. We'll see how it all plays out. Anyways, I'll get with you guys later. We'll see what we got going on. All right, we are up. Oh, I should put the truck in drive. But yep, our door just opened up. We got through it. The guy in the Kenworth in front of me, he was a little bit frustrated because I was confused how the line was working, and apparently so was the other guy that I was supposed to be after. So he got cut in the line. So I went over and talked to him to make sure he was in the same line I was. And he was a little bit frustrated, but not a huge deal. We're all getting through it. We're all surviving. So we want to get right by that white Volvo, the stereotypical Chicago truck, right? The old white Volvo. And that's our target. So let's see what we got here. We're doing all right. There's a car back here. We're okay. We're okay. Here we got some stairs in front of us, but we're all right. Just need to start getting her straightened out. Just about got it. I like getting these angles for you guys, but I caught myself looking at the camera one day instead of the mirrors. I'm like, what am I doing? That's a dumb thing to do. So you definitely want to have all your attention on backing, and my mirror's wet, so I can't really see too well. We're backing into, like, it's like half inside of a building. So it takes a little while for your mirrors to sort of, not adjust, that's not the right word, but it takes a little while for you to start being able to see. I think we're there, though. Oh, nope, not quite. Let me clean my mirror off a little bit. I do have mirror heaters. I don't know why I didn't have them turned on. That would have been helpful to have them running, but we're there. I'll go back and look and make sure everything's good, but we have our dock door now. How you like it? I like it a lot. On the road again. Getting back on the road again. I forgot the words already, but here we go, guys. Look at the size of these potholes. Good. I don't know if you caught that. I'm sure you saw that though. Good Lord. So snow moving in Chicago. We are loaded, ready to go. I have alerted the shop to my little problem I'm having, and I'm curious to see how it acts when it's loaded now, because it was acting completely different after I got empty yesterday. So we're about 20 miles away. They know that I'm coming, and we'll see if we can make sure this truck is ready to go for this long trip we got. And it's gonna be a cold one, folks. It's gonna be a cold one. So I'm happy they're ready to look at it, and hopefully it's just a minor issue. God bless maintenance accounts though. The one here is so aggressive.
In 1/4 mile, turn left on East 103rd Street.
15 cents a mile. I mean, you're losing like $300, $400, $500 a week to the maintenance account. Not losing though. It's a very aggressive maintenance account. So, I mean, in the little bit of time I've been here, I've got $2,000 in that account, and that's, hopefully this is a minor thing. We'll see how it acts on the interstate
Turn
now
left at the traffic light
with a load on it, and we'll go from there. But like having that, I like that I don't necessarily see that money, because $2,000, boy, I'd want to spend that on something, wouldn't I? So, it's definitely one of the more aggressive maintenance accounts that I've ever seen. Lots of money every week. I'm normally in that $400, $450 range. This week I think I'm actually going to end up in like the $500 range for the maintenance fund. But it's nice to have. You hope that you don't have to have any downtime, but it's such a nice thing to have, because you're not sitting here worried about if something breaks, can I fix it? And this company's super cool too. They'll let you run the maintenance account negative. I don't know how most companies do that, because I've never discussed it with any other companies, but they'll let you run it negative and just start making up the difference. That light turned quick, didn't it? And they don't even hassle you with it. They just want you to have your truck on the road. It matters to them if your truck's on the road. So it's all in all a really very aggressive, like I said, but a very good situation to be in. So we'll get her over there, see what they say, and we just might be done for the day if it's going to take a while, because Chicago area and the weather's turning
in 1/4 mile,
crap on
turn
us.
Left on I-94 west,
so
then keep right.
What we'll run into is it will be difficult for us to park if we go later into the day, especially with the weather getting bad. It's about 2:30 p.m. right now, so we just might be done for the day. Either way, get up nice and early and hit the road. So I guess that's all I got for now. I'll update you guys when you know, after I see what the truck does on the interstate with a load on it, and after the shop has a look. We'll see how it goes. So talk to y'all in a bit. Well, she's running just fine down the interstate, boys, with her all loaded up. So I'm gonna swing in the shop still and let them know, and if they're like, yeah, run it, then fine. But it seems like when it's unloaded, it's gonna have this weird thing. So I'm at about 60 now, and I'm gonna let off the accelerator, right? Got the Jakes on. I know you're not supposed to in this kind of weather, but we got it, we got it. Let's try it with the Jakes off. Let's go ahead and see if we can get up to speed again. Got a pretty heavy load, 43,000, but if I let off the accelerator, nothing. It's beautiful. I wish I would have recorded it empty for you guys to hear. So it seems to be running just fine with a load on it. So maybe those guys' theory, or it wasn't even a theory at that point. The guys over on the truckers report talking about leveling valves, maybe there's something to that. Maybe it's not leveling correctly when there's no load on it, causing that sound. Like I said, I'm not any kind of mechanic, but what's the difference between having a load on here and not, and that sound goes away? Also, my mirror on the left-hand side, the back plastic on it was flopping around, so I went out and pulled that off. But I don't think it would have made that loud of a noise as what I was hearing. But maybe. And why only when I let off the accelerator? I'm not sure. But the old girl seems to be running just fine. I'll ask them what they think on that, and then we might just call it a day because it's getting late around here. Weather's getting bad, and we'll lose more hours than we make up at this point by messing around. Rather get up at 3, 4 in the morning, deal with no traffic, and just head on out of town. So that's kind of what we're looking at, I think. But yeah, no, the truck sounds good. It sounds amazing. So I don't know. That's super weird that it would do that while it's empty. I don't know, man. All right, that's it for the day. What a day. Not much to it. Just pick up and that's it. That's all I did. The pickup wasn't till, well, it was scheduled for 1. I got there at, what, 11, something like that. I don't even know. But that was it. We drove the truck back. It seemed fine. No issues. I kept testing it over and over. I'd run it up to about 60, let off the accelerator. Seems fine when it's loaded. I talked to the guys in the shop about it. They said, I mean, it's kind of hard to replicate if it's working now. And I mean, I could have dropped my trailer and we could have got it out on the interstate and tried it out. But the snow's coming down pretty good right now. Traffic's moving slowly. So we decided, let's just send it. Let's send it and hope for the best on this one. I don't know. To me, that's a weird thing, but I don't know what would cause it or anything like that. So that's just what we're going to do. We're going to do it. So I'm waiting out the snowstorm because it was just so slow going, and now it's 3:30. What am I going to do? Where am I going to go park anyways if I were to leave? So I'm going to get up super early in the morning, 3 o'clock, something like that. We're going to drop 2 time zones on the way to Oregon. So it'll be obviously equivalent to waking up at 1 a.m. tomorrow. And that'll put us ahead of the curve. So we'll try to knock out like 600 miles a day for the next 3 days. I'm going to go the northern route, I'm thinking, just because I don't want to get shut down in Wyoming. So it adds an extra 100 miles, so 2,000 mile trip. 2,000 miles, we'll knock out about 1,800 of those by end of Monday, hopefully a little bit more. That puts us within 3 hours of our 7 a.m. delivery Tuesday morning. So perfect, works out. The snow is supposed to stop here later on tonight. I'll get up, like I said, do this real early when there's no traffic in the Chicago area. That's all they had in the vending machine. Gross. It just tastes like sugar. But I am probably getting ready to Uber over about a mile from me. There's a place I want to go eat. So I'm going to go ahead and probably do that. I was going to take the company van and head over there because it's later in the day and probably no one would need it. I would check first, of course. But the company van was there. I went in to talk to the guys at the shop. Come back out, it's gone. So I'll just Uber over. Enjoy a little few hours out of the truck because those are desperately needed when you live in here all the time. Desperately needed to get out of the truck, so we'll do that. And that's it, guys. That's the plan. This was pretty uneventful day, but I think we're ready to hit the road. All we did was get loaded. That's it. That's all we did. But it works for me. It's fine. We'll have to figure out later in the week how we're going to manage this clock so that we can keep rolling, but I ran mostly short days up to this point, so we'll be fine to recap when we get to that. Because out of Oregon on Tuesday morning, I wouldn't mind running straight to the East Coast. I don't know if I mentioned this yet. I guess I'll mention it now. I did speak to my dispatcher yesterday. I may have said this in yesterday's video and asked him how he felt about me looking at loads on the board and stuff like that. And he was all for it. He said, dude, look at them and let me know what you want to do. He said, it just makes it easier for me. Besides, if you get a bad rate and you pick the load, that's your own damn fault. So he was super cool about it. Told me that he has no issue with me at all doing that, and made me like the company a little bit more, because I'm looking directly at the load boards. So, and I'm saying, how about this load? How about this load? And it hasn't worked out that he's gotten me the same exact load every time I've said that, but he'll get me a load going to like the same area, and the rates are comparable. Very trustworthy company. With a lot of these lease purchase places, they strongly discourage you from looking at load boards. They don't like that. Then when you get a load, it won't match what the load board said it paid. They don't want to show you rate cons, things like that. And that's never been a problem here. I can look at the load board. I see something for, you know, 4,200, and he'll come back. He'll fire me the, once he's got the rate con, he'll fire me the email or the text message rather, you know, and it's like an extra $200 on it that he negotiated for. I think once these warm months hit, well, which they're starting to do as snow is pouring all over us out here, but I think once these warm months hit and we don't have to restrict where we're going, we are going to have a really, really good run going into next winter. So we've got March, April, May. You guys know how calendars work. June, July, August, September, October. Like, that's when October can get a little bit sketchy, but we're talking 8 months. 8 months that we can, out of the year, that we can just, almost without a care in the world about what the weather's like. I'm excited, man. We're gonna hit it hard too. We are gonna do well. And then at that point, I have decisions to make, but that's far off in the future right now, and I'll think about it. If this truck stays in good shape and that maintenance fund is really built up, I'm seeing truck prices go down substantially. Trucks that were $150,000 last year are half that fucking price. Wow, sorry. Trying to watch the language a little bit. The YouTube algorithm enjoys that. I mean, you're seeing the same trucks for 75, 80 grand. You know, so at the end of the year, am I cashing out my maintenance fund and saying, hey, thanks for the memories, guys? But they probably do owner-operators here. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm starting to feel like, okay, I'm in it. I'm in it again. So that may be the goal, is to, okay, how do we get to where we can make a truck purchase again, using the things that screwed me last time to make better decisions this time. Right? That's going to be the really important part. Make better decisions this time. Buy a real truck. Don't buy some international. I'm not saying internationals can't be good trucks, but like, you get what you pay for. You know, so if I want to buy a $40,000 international, I'd probably rather just buy the $70,000 Kenworth and take the loss up front instead of taking the loss on this end when I'm trying to keep a business running, you know. These Kenworths are solid trucks, man. I mean, nothing wrong with the Peterbilts. It's just not really my thing. But that's kind of what I'm thinking, is run with a good truck. Get the right down payment in order. Have a maintenance fund already set aside. So we're talking like 30 grand, you know, 20 down, 10 for a maintenance fund. Rough estimate. But be ready to fix that thing from day one. Right? And know that it's just going to have problems. Be ready to face downtime and be able to pay the bills at home and stuff like that. I gotta be honest, I'm getting excited again. I'm getting very excited again. So, we'll see where the road takes us. But this, hopefully, is our last snowstorm of the year. Hopefully. We might see one or two more. We'll just get through it, baby. So anyways, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I need something to eat. I have not ate at all today, so I'm gonna go do that. Yeah, we'll talk to you soon.